So there's a study that was done. Turns out, it turns out that when black people have or go to black doctors, we use black health care, we live longer. Um, this is a study that they've recently come out with information pertaining to uh, these facts. So the longevity for us, the longevity for us is to deal with us when it pertains to healthcare. Now, I'm sure you've seen, like I have, we've all seen it. And I used to always question back in the day as a child growing up. Um, I would watch various news sources or read various magazines, and it would, when it pertained to us, it was always, oh well, African Americans lifespan is shorter. African American is this and all this other stuff. We had a higher level for cancer. We had a higher level for this and that and all of this other stuff. Well, it turns out the reason why all of these things have been is for the simple fact that we have been mimicking or patterning ourselves after somebody or another group of people who we are actually different from. Like, we are carbon based and they are not. The certain foods that they can eat, we cannot eat. And this is what everybody has to understand is what they don't tell you in medicine and in health is that you should find out what your blood type is. And once you find out what your blood type is, those are the foods that you should put into your body. Like for me, my blood type is A positive. So by my blood type being A positive, then that simply means that I should eat the foods that's for a blood type person of that's A positive. So I shouldn't go in and be eating the foods that's of somebody that's was O type. They have O type blood. Their diet is different from mine, which is A positive. But it turns out, it simply turns out at this point that what they're saying is that doctors or black people that go to black doctors and use your own, follow your own whatever healthcare plans that they put out there for you, certain things that you should do, you live longer versus going to Caucasian doctors. And I just find all of that to be really, really interesting because thinking back to my family line, that being, dad, mom. Well, I will say this. My parents lived to get into their mid 80s. So the Lord only promised us 10, which is 70, somewhere around there, right? So they lived to get older than 70. And also I had good parents that really loved and cared for people. Unfortunate for my brother, he passed away at the rightful age at 46, which for me was unbearable. But anyway, I just want to share this with everybody, the importance of, you know, just if you find yourself needing a doctor and you are melanated or what's called carbon-based, study shows that you should go out there and get you a black doctor. Doesn't matter, black female, black male. As long as they're black, they're going to have the game plan for you for longevity. And this is very important. And, I'm going to say this in closing. I have often said this many times over. I say it all the time. Lions run with the lions. Lion gets sick. The lion ain't finna go over there and deal with the leopard. This is metaphorically, but the lion is not going to deal with the leopard, and the leopard is not going to deal with the lion. The lion is going to stay amongst his own. And this is the key. This is the key to you having a prosperous life. Is your health care should be with the people that looks like you.
As we've reported recently, life expectancy in the United States is now at its lowest level in nearly 2 decades. And the projected lifetimes of Black and Native Americans are shorter than for white Americans. New research offers an insight on a potential factor driving this disparity. It finds that black people live longer in areas with more black primary care doctors. Michael Dill is one of the authors of the study. He's the director of workforce studies at the Association of American Medical Colleges, which represents medical schools and training hospitals. How big a benefit or how big a difference is there between life expectancy for black Americans in a county with no black physicians and in counties with at least one black physician?
Well, John, what we found is that for every 10% increase in the relative representation of black primary care physicians, we saw a 1-month increase in life expectancy for black people living in those same counties.
They don't even have to be the patient of the black physician.
We weren't looking at whether or not those black primary care doctors were seeing the black people in the county. It's just if they're in the same county.
This was a correlation rather than cause and effect, but do you have any theories as to why this is?
Well, there are any number of explanations. Part of it is that, black primary care physicians and black physicians in general are more likely to work in underserved areas. And it was in the lowest income areas where we saw the biggest difference in life expectancy. And part of it is also that it improves provider choice. There's also some research to show that, community level access improves with a more diverse workforce. In fact, our research shows exactly that. For example, my own primary care physician, who's a black woman, set up a practice in an area that was very diverse, specifically because she wanted to improve access in that community. And I think we're seeing some of that in our findings.
I was also interested to note that as you began this research, you knocked out half the counties in America because they don't even have a single black primary care physician.
That's true. That's true. There are a couple explanations for that, but overall it is worth noting simply because we don't have enough black primary care physicians or even enough black doctors, not nearly enough. I mean, the physician workforce overall in the United States is maybe about 6% black physicians, whereas we know the population as a whole is more than twice